Right, so I'm just going to load up GIMP and make a quick graphic just for my title screen. It's the same process for doing it for anything else. Right, so I want to create a new one. Now I've got to be careful about what size my screen is. So my screen was 900 wide, 675 tall, something like that. I can quickly check that if I go to the assets and the screen size is set there. Yeah, 900 by 6. I don't know. I remembered that because I'm used to that sort of thing. Right, so I want this to be as wide as the screen. So I'm going to make it 900 wide, and then I'm going to make it 670. No, I'm going to make it 900 because I'll make it scroll. So I'm going to make it 900 by 900. So it's slightly bigger than the screen. I'm going to do this for two reasons: to show you how to scroll it, but to show you what you've got to be careful of as well. So I'm going to create that. It's going to be the world's worst background, so I'm just going to use a brush. I'm going to pick a colour. Let's have a bit of green. That'll do me. Let's get rid of that. So, oh, that's not very green. No, I didn't pick it. That's why. Okay. Right. Dave. Shooter. It's going to be called. Oh, I'm not going to fit it on. Plan your background graphic so it doesn't look awful. Oh, that's not bad actually. I'm just going to do a bullet. Right, so I'm going to save that. Right, I'll save it on my disk. I'll just save it. Oh, we need to export it on this, don't I? Right, so let's export it. Export. Just dump it there because I've got to load it into the content thing anyway. Right, okay, so it's exporting as a PNG. Export. It'll ask me for the file name in a minute, I'm assuming. Oh, it didn't. I don't even know what. Oh, untitled. That doesn't matter. I'll leave it as untitled. Right, I've got that saved. So I'm going to go back to my content, right click on content and said add existing item, which I've now got to find. There it is, untitled. So I'm going to add that, copy it so that we get it part of our project. And it is there. Now, I don't want to spell it wrong, so I'm going to say rename so I can capture the name of it. Click cancel. I don't want to edit that. Go back to my code. Right, now, so when we're doing graphics, we've got to store these in a texture. So I'm going to make a texture up for this. So I'm in assets. So public static, texture 2D, TX. The reason I put TX in front of it is because when I'm typing, the little picker goes, oh, TX. Here's all the things with TX. So it'll show me just the ones I want. So this is going to be, I'm just going to call it BK and then I'll remember that as well. So TXBK. So that sets up where I'm going to store it. Now I need to copy one of these lines. So I don't want you to type this, you just copy this. So if I just move my cursor onto that line, do Control C and then do Control V, it'll duplicate the whole line and paste it in for me. It's quite nice that. So I've got that horse one twice. So I'm going to TXBK. And then I just need to change the file name. So the file name I've got in the clipboard, which I've just got rid of. Right, I'll go back to that and do that again. So rename, copy that, cancel. Go back, paste that over. So I don't want the dot. So I'm just saying load untitled, store it in TXBK. Okay. Right, so if I now go to the title screen, so this is title setup. That's where the title screen is set up. We haven't really done anything with the title screen, but that's where I'm going to build it. So I'm going to say tile map, because backgrounds are tile maps. Tile map T equals new, and then I'm going to come up with this title back, I'm going to call it. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get Visual Studio to do all the hard work for me. So it's now moaning like we saw yesterday. It's going, oh, something doesn't exist. So we're going to right click on that and go quick actions. And then we're going to say generate a class. And it's going to create it for us. And you can see it's built it up there. it hasn't put all the things I probably want up here. Okay, so I am going to go to something else, and at the top I'm just going to copy all of that stuff, and I'm going to overwrite that. That just makes sure that any libraries that we need, it's going to import. Right, so now I'm going to actually do the loading of the graphics. So I'm going to say public title back. So it's the same name. So the name of the class is the name of this. Now this is going to look a little bit different to what we did the other day when we were doing the sprite things. I'm now going to say base, and then I'm going to tell it what texture, and it was TXBK, and I'm going to say true. Now what I'm actually telling the game engine to do is I'm saying, right, take my texture and break it up into little squares for me. Okay, that's what the true bit's doing. I now need to then, just to get this to display, I need to make sure I do this. I need to tell the tilemap manager that I want it to manage this background. And that is actually all there is to making a background. So if I run this, assuming I've done it correct, it should display my horrendous graphic. Oops, what? Oh dear, it crashed. I did something stupid. Oh. Did I name that properly? Untitled. Hang on. Untitled. Right. That looked like that crashed. File does not exist. Why did that not copy it? Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah. Right. I have got a file name not loaded problem. Oh, did I rebuild? I didn't rebuild, did I? That was stupid of me. Right. So because I didn't build it, it didn't copy the file to the right location because it has to like turn this into a binary file, a special format that the Mono game uses. Right. Let's try that again. Should load this time. Right, there you go. It's not crashed this time. And there you go. There's my brilliant background with my music. I'll mute the music. Right. Not a great background, I must say. Right, I'm just going to kill that music because that is doing my head in already. I suggest that if you do put some music into your game, it is music that does not do your head in. Okay. Right, so that is the background. Now let me show you how to scroll it. That's easy as well. There is something called scroll. You can scroll in the X direction or the Y direction. You can see there's a scroll X and scroll Y. But if you do scroll like this, oh, let me do the scroll Y first and I'll show you that. Right. If you want the speed is pixels per second. So this will scroll at 40 pixels per second. But the direction is the opposite to what you would think. So 40 makes it go up. Okay? Because it's the opposite of the way that we move. The background generally moves the opposite way. So as we go up, the background goes down. So that's why it does that. But it does this. It scrolled it, but then it's gone off the screen. Which is not... You might want that effect, but maybe not want that effect. So if you want it to repeat itself, you need to tell the tilemap to wrap. Okay, so I'll just say in the Y direction, wrap, repeat. So this time when it scrolls, it should, theoretically, as it goes off screen, it should come back on. Okay, if you want to do cool effects, you can make it scroll really fast. So 4001 pixels per second. You can make it look like a TV's broken. If you go even faster, with certain things, if you get like a picture that's just noise and you scroll it very fast, it looks like a TV that's broken. So you can do really weird things if you want to give someone epilepsy. All right, so I don't recommend you want to do that. If you want to go in two directions, so you want to go left and right, you just say new, you do the scroll one and you say new vector 2 and you just put the 2. So I'm going to do that. 40 across, 50 up. So when I do it this time, and you'll see what I'm doing, I'm only wrapping in the Y direction. So the X direction hasn't wrapped. So you think, oh, that's not good. So what I can do is if I change that just to wrap, it should wrap in both directions. So I get a repeat. But you've got to make sure that your image is nice when it wraps. If you've got a hard edge, where you've got, let's say you've got some bricks or something on the left-hand side and you've got like a waterfall on the left, as you scroll it, it's going to look and repeat like a waterfall and a load of bricks together. So that'll be a bit odd. Yes, Sonny. Right. Let me finish recording this video that I'm recording, Sonny. I thought you were asking a question about this. Right. So the other thing you can do, and I did do another one of these. Where did I do it? Right. I also did the exact same thing with a graphic that was a lot smaller than the screen. Okay. So if I use that one instead, and I'll show you the effect of that one. Again, this one I'm just going to scroll in the X and Y direction, but it is just, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'll take all the wrap off. On this one, I'm doing the same thing. So if I just comment these two lines out, you'll see that actually this graphic is tiny and it's just sat in the top left-hand corner. It's got a transparent background so you can see whatever, and we've got like a grey background there. But because I've said wrap, it just repeats itself to fill the window. So it goes, oh, I need to keep drawing, I'll repeat myself. So if I do wrap, you'll see that it fills the whole screen. If I do wrap X, it will only go horizontal. It'll leave a load of blocks at the bottom. So you can have different effects. So if you had a little bit of info that you wanted to like make it look like it was scrolling along the screen, you might just wrap it in the X direction and then do scroll X like that. And you can make a little scrolling marquee. If you've got something that's really wide, like a news ticker, if it was 2000 pixels wide, obviously only 900 pixels can be shown on the screen, it will automatically just repeatedly scroll it for you. So if you wanted an effect like that, you can do that quite easily. But it's actually, it looks nicer if you do wrap in both directions. Okay, right, I'll stop that video there. But that's how you do backgrounds. So you can do that if you want it to, for your background for your game and you want it to scroll vertically, that's what you can do. Okay.